Howdy everyone, this is Adrian from Buddy's Boutique, and today we are going to be building on the Sigelei Moonshot 22mm RTA. Now we're going to take a little bit longer this episode to explain how it actually works because it's pretty confusing and it's hard to build on. So I'm going to show you all the parts, how they go together, and why they did that. Okay, so the Sigelei Moonshot is made up of a couple of interesting little parts. You have your base, but then you also have your build deck. This build deck has 2 posts with bottom airflow, and it's a pin, but there's no screws on it. What it does is it actually just drops in. It drops in and creates the bottom pin, which is kind of interesting. I don't know why they did that, but they also made it easier to build on by a bit by taking the top part of the deck. You can unscrew what goes around. So this allows you to build and then check and make sure that your build is going to fit inside of your deck. It also helps for wicking, and we'll get to that later. You have your standard Pyrex glass piece, and then you have your top with an interesting little drip tip. To build the Moonshot, we're going to need a 4mm micro hex screwdriver, a pair of steel or ceramic tweezers, a pair of cutters, and then a pair of pliers, round nose or otherwise. So you can see that we're going to be building on top of my Smoke G-Priv today. I've already done the liberty of taking everything apart and taking the base out. Remember, the base slides in like that. Okay? As a result, we can't actually fire the coils once they're in until we put our sleeve right on top. Okay? So because this is a very small deck and we have to make it work, we're going to be using some twisteds, and this is the shape we want. Okay, so we've done our standard. If you haven't seen before what we do for a 2-post deck, this is what we do, okay? It'll look like this, where it goes out and then up. And then what we did for the Moonshot is we actually pointed them down. So what we want to be able to have it do is we want it to slide in like this. Okay, I want it to slide in like that. That way it sits up. See that? We need it to sit up. That way it doesn't end up hitting the side of our deck. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and build one in front of the camera so you guys can see exactly how to do it. Okay, to bend our coil, we're going to start by taking the longer lead and we're going to put our pliers inside the coil just like that. We're then going to bend it around. We want to follow the same curve and we want to make it about 90 degrees. See that? That's what we're looking for, and we don't want it to look any different on the other side. Then we're going to take the one that we just bent down, and we're actually going to bend it out, like this. Okay? Bend it out like that. Okay? Now that it's bent out, we're going to bend the other one out, opposite directions, so it is a straight line if you were to connect the two. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to go about 3mm and we're going to bend them back out. Remember, you want to do this with a twisting screwdriver motion. And now you have them bent out. Now that they're bent out, because we want ours to sit like this, we're going to bend these leads like so. Okay, see what I did? And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side at the same distance. There we go. We've built a coil that will fit inside of our Moonshot and it will look great. Okay, so I've pre-installed the coils. You saw how it was done earlier when I explained it. It's not too difficult, but in order to test them, you have to slide them into place and then you have to put your sleeve right around it. So we're going to fit that over top of it and we're going to screw it down. This makes sure that the 510 connection pin that the base creates, that the deck creates, actually comes in contact with the mod. So I'm running this right now at 100 watts. Resistance it's reading is 0.2. Okay, and so we're just going to fire it with that ring around it. That's the only way it makes connection. So this one's warming up a little bit more. We'll give this a strum. I saw a few hot spots. Do the same over here. There we go. See that? Burning nice and evenly. Center out. Alright, next we're going to talk about wicking And wicking with this outside sleeve is going to come in real handy. Alright, so we're going to start the wicking. I have myself a piece of cotton here and my bamboo rolling mat. I'm going to put it right in the center. I'm going to roll it small. It turns into a small little worm that we can grab the end of, pinch it, twist it, and slide it through the coils. Okay. As we feed it through, we're going to give it a twist, just like always. Okay, and then these are going to be nice, short little wicks. We're not going to need a whole lot out of them. Okay, so we can probably use one piece. So we'll just cut it about 3/4 of an inch away. We'll take it, do the same thing, slide it through. You see I put that Allen wrench in there. That Allen wrench is there because at the bottom of this deck, there's a little hole in the pin on the side. And I have this going through the airflows through the pins so that this only turns slightly. It doesn't fall out, right? It stays in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut these to just over 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and take out our Allen wrench and we're going to lift the deck up. We're going to drop these pieces of cotton right into that little corner. You see that corner? We're going to drop them right in there and just tuck them in. We're going to make it so that they want to go that direction when we slide our sleeve over. Speaking of, let's get our sleeve. Slide it down. Okay, this is your opportunity to adjust all the cotton and make sure it's where you want it to be. There we go. And then if you've done it right, it should make a nice little mark right where that sleeve went over. You can see those. Okay, that is now where we're going to be cutting, just past that mark. Okay, now these are all the right size. We take our sleeve and slide it over. Give me a second. Well, I seem to be having trouble. Oh, there we go. Okay, so once it's in, you should see all of that cotton tucked down. Okay, so we're going to put this back onto the mod. Don't worry about the pin for right now. We're just going to grab a little screwdriver, any kind of pokey thing, and we're going to fluff up the cotton. Okay, we're just going to reach down there and we're going to pull up a little bit. Make it so that it has plenty of aeration in there, because the more air you have in the cotton before you put the juice in, the more juice can flow into it. Okay, so you see how the cotton is now a little bit more fluffed up. Well, let's screw it down. Okay, now it's screwed down. Tuck everything back where it should be. And we can go ahead and drip, put the top on it, fill it, and give it a hit. Alright, it is built, wicked, and dripped. Let's give it a vape. Excellent flavor. The Moonshot is known for having excellent flavor because of how small it is. The vapor comes in contact with very little before it gets to your mouth, and for a tank, that's something that is almost unheard of. So, due to the size, the way we built it, and the juice, which is actually fresh and squeezed fruit vapes, melon medley. It's an excellent flavor, tastes like fresh watermelon, not too sweet. Because all these factors, it's an excellent build. See you next time.